So
Okay.
I won't forget. I'm strong now.
Nice. Okay, so last time we played, you guys ended up going to the Rutgers University. You got this little box. It was the last one you needed. It was the Tiamat box that had a orb of glowing smoke in it, held by a dragon's paw. You got messed with a little bit with an illusion that had you wandering around the campus a little bit before you ended up finding your way back, going through the telephone lines using Lightning Rider, ending back at the nightclub, which looked like a scene of carnage when you got there. You ended up getting into kind of a weird fight with the man in black and some hounds, which, you know, was a little easier than you guys probably anticipated it being. But at the end of the day, or day, I should say, at the end of the night, you guys were standing there and everybody else was gone. They had stepped through a portal going to the Nightlands, which was a little weird because it wasn't in a mirror. It was just in the air. And as you thought, portals only worked if they were going through mirrors. So that was a little odd for you. But other than that, you guys came out victorious. And the next day, the sun rose. One thing you did, you went home, you did your stuff, and it's probably been about, we'll say it's been 2 weeks since that fight at the nightclub. And one of the people from there, I gotta give him a name. I always keep forgetting their names there. What was one of their names? Like the head guy's name? It was something really just common. We'll say Tracy.
Like Vic.
Victor?
I thought it was like Vic or something. Yeah,
Yeah.
something like that. Vic.
So I'm just gonna create another folder here and NPCs because I have the terrible, terrible brain. And I'm gonna make that green. And I'm gonna create the folder. And I'm going to go ahead and create a journal entry of Nightbane NPCs. And we're going to add a page. Nightbane. Create. And Vic. He is a Nightbane from the nightclub. Head of the Nocturnes. There was also Mouse, who was Underground Railroad.
And MacGuffin.
MacGuffin was Resistance.
Also underground.
Yeah, that's right. He was Railroad.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
He was Railroad Resistance. And Treads. Yeah. He was Resistance. Then there was Mancini and Faulkner. These were Seekers. There we go.
Yes.
Now I got that list of NPCs and I won't forget them because they. Yeah. So anyway, it's been 2 weeks. What have you been doing for the last 2 weeks now that the world seems to have kind of settled back to normal? The sun goes up, sun goes down. The news is explaining that whole Dark Day situation as being some kind of freak kind of eclipse. The sun was blocked by the moon and by other planets, and that's why you didn't see anything. It's awfully scientific, and it doesn't make a whole lot of sense, but that's the official government line that's being put out there by the world governments. It's the best explanation any scientist could possibly come up with as to why it happened. But what have you guys been doing the last couple weeks?
Just working.
Just working. Oh, work has settled down a little bit. Okay, go on, Death.
I guess I would try to get my school up and running and secured. Ensure everything inside of it's good.
Okay.
Make sure no one robbed me or anything.
I'll 50-50 that. Nah, Nobody robbed you. One of the windows was broken though, but nobody came in and took anything. They might have come in, taken a look around, and
I'll
not seen anything of
board that
traditional
window.
value.
I'll board that window up and call to get my window replaced.
Okay. They deliver the handyman, the window crew. They're like, oh yeah, we can get out there later today. We'll put a new pane up in that window. It won't cost much at all. We'll just send you an invoice in the mail. You have kind of a relationship with these guys. They've done work for you in the past.
I should have property insurance, so like,
Yeah.
as long as that system is still functional, I'm gonna put that broken window on the property insurance.
Yeah, so you'll just have to file the paperwork with your insurance. We'll give you the invoice for it though, and you just file that with them. And if all things are good, they'll just send payment to us. But we got to give you the invoice for it, so you got to file that work. You've done work with these guys before. They're general contractors, so they're not ripping you off or telling you something that's false. So it's not that big of a deal. You just got to call your insurance company and handle it. School's been kind of interesting for you. Daniel, your character. Kids are all a little confused as to what you said. You're a high school teacher, right?
Correct.
So, the kids are all, they got their different theories as to what happened. And a lot of them are, doing the whole, ghost story or, magic. It's all a big joke to them. But, a lot better and probably know it's not a great idea to tell them the truth.
Right.
Yeah, sure. You might have seen stuff. That was mass hysteria. That was looters in costumes. That wasn't anything real. Like, come on.
It was mass hysteria.
Yeah. We had this strange, once in a lifetime, astronomical event, and people were out doing strange stuff during that time period. Why would anybody? Come on. Monsters don't exist. What are the other two of you doing?
Well, wasn't wasn't it a liability for us to be around our families, or a liability for them if we were around them?
During Dark Day, yes, it was when the hounds were out tracking you by your the supernatural scent. It could still be a danger as well now. The last couple of weeks, you haven't noticed any hounds out. Reports of monster sightings have been non-existent. The government's been upping their game, going out arresting rioters, looters, or anybody that's perceived as being a troublemaker, and putting them in jail quite rapidly. But the whole "I've seen monsters" that talk's died down almost entirely.
Then I guess I would just be like a watchdog around my family the entire time. Or I wouldn't want to work much and taking vacation.
Okay. So you're on your vacation watching your family. What does that look like? Is it stressful?
I don't know. I don't know what the rules for doppelgangers are. I guess I would know if they were doppelgangers, right? Or I wouldn't know. Well, because I have the true sight, so I would
You would
know
know.
if they got.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. So I guess they would probably think I'm crazy because I'm overly paranoid, constantly asking where they're going and being like an anal watchdog.
Okay, so yeah, these have probably been a pretty stressful couple weeks for you. The only time you can use True Sight is when you're in your Morphus. So
When they're sleeping.
yeah, so when they're sleeping, you're turning into your Morphus form, sneaking around, or you're just to get a look at them while they're in the house, or maybe you leave in the
I can
middle of the
also
night.
be at a distance. The telescopic thing, they'd have no idea where I was at.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. Like in the middle of the night, you can go outside, climb up a tree or something, peek at them through the windows just to see what's going on. Like, are they real? Are they really my parents? Are they really my family? And so far, everything's been coming up Millhouse. No doppelgangers taking over their positions. They've taken notice to this hypervigilance, and the vibe you get is you think that they might think you're on drugs. Like, maybe he's smoking the weed. Maybe he's doing the cocaines. They haven't said anything outright, but they constantly are asking you, are you okay? Is everything all right? Can we do anything to help you? You sure everything's okay? You know, being good family, but a little concerned.
That doesn't bother me.
Okay. Cannabella, what are you doing?
Well, I think I had a loft downtown, so that's probably fucked. So I'm probably having to deal with insurance claims and shopping to replace stuff,
Okay.
laying low.
It's your decision whether or not your place got broken into or not. I didn't roll one way or the other. I could do a 50-50. If you want it to have been broken in and some stuff to be missing, so you're dealing with insurance stuff, totally cool. You can do that. Or we can leave it up to chance.
We'll say it's been broken into. That way I can go shopping.
There you go. So you're doing the shopping thing, just trying to replace things that went missing. These people seem to have taken all this the dumbest shit ever. Like, why would they take your silverware? It wasn't even real silver. It was just Walmart basic utensils. Sure, it had a cool little design on the handle, but it wasn't silverware. One of the things that they did take, which did infuriate you, would be your favorite coffee mug. The one that had all the proper seasoning of coffee in it because you barely washed it unless it absolutely needed to be washed. Yeah, that went missing. They must have thought the design on it was really cool.
Those bitches!
Yep.
That's my Harry Potter mug.
But, you know, your other standard stuff that burglars would steal in the middle of the night when you weren't there to defend it were missing too, like your TV, stereo, DVD player.
Probably didn't have Harry Potter mugs.
Wait, no, it's 2001, so Harry Potter would have been out, huh?
But it would not have been as popular enough to have. It would have been just books, and it wouldn't have had
the books
merchandise.
Yeah, wouldn't have hit the movie theaters yet.
All right, fine.
Let's say the third book. The third book is when everything got big, and that came out in like 2004 or something like that. So it probably wouldn't have had the merchandising for it yet, because there wouldn't have been any movies yet.
We're fucking monsters, Tom. Let her have her dream.
I'm just letting you know how the timeline really is.
Listen, I read the books before the movies even were a thought.
Maybe this was
Star
a
Wars.
custom
Maybe it was
made,
Star Wars.
or it could be a custom made Harry Potter mug that you had specifically made for you because you really liked them and it looked expensive, and that's why they took it. Those bastards.
Those bastards. All right, proceed.
All right. So yeah, life has been surprisingly normal since you learned that you could turn into monsters 2 weeks ago. Do you guys keep in contact with each other?
Man, I feel like it's a pretty good idea to, like, I don't know, maybe like create like an email thing, something like that, because there's not cell phones aren't like as prevalent. And texting back in the day was a real son of a bitch.
Get that T9 predictive.
Is the dojo up and running?
I mean, yeah, I had to board up the window and waiting on it to be replaced, but yes, the dojo's up and running, and I'm holding classes again.
Okay, so then I'd probably see you because I'd be there a lot and like trying to help out and stuff, classes, things like that.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So, life proceeds for about another week. Everything's fine, honky-dory. You guys go to bed one night. All in your own little individual houses. It's however late it was when you went to bed. And I need to grab my phone because I have a list of things that everybody sent to me that I'm going to need now.
I can't wait to see how you use mine.
I didn't see
My fear.
yours.
I told you I was afraid of Cannabella. No,
Yeah,
I've
no,
been
I
afraid of
saw
Spider
that.
since the beginning. That's why I didn't
Oh,
say anything.
I didn't know if you wanted me to use that or not.
Oh, well, yeah. That's the whole reason I hate Nate's character.
Okay. I mean, I thought that was like a real life phobia. Okay. Well, I'm going to start with Cannabella's character, just because I got her stuff right up in front of me. And Death, I definitely don't see yours. Can you just text it over?
Sent it to you. 100%, I sent it to you.
Not in an individual text.
Hold on. No, that's not you. Where are you? There it is.
Was it vomiting?
It's right here, bro. See? Look up.
Oh, okay.
One message.
All the training is done will mean nothing in the face of his new reality. Okay. Well, we're gonna start with Cannabella. So you go to bed one night and you wake up the next morning. Everything's fine. Like it's a typical morning. Your Harry Potter coffee mug's there. You make your coffee. You get your stuff ready for work. You head out the door. You get to work, and your boss comes up and they're like, "Hey, Isabel, got a big client in. We need to get you up in front of them. We have to just have you present the plan for work. Here, you have the business plan, right?
Had it ready last week. Let's go.
Perfect. Awesome. Great. So you go in, and it's just one of those boardroom, like small conference rooms. And you're standing in front of everybody. You got the whiteboard up, projector's going, and you're going through this PowerPoint because PowerPoint's like the coolest new thing ever in the business world. You're really just hitting the bar. And then you turn around to look at the whiteboard, touch one of the things, say, all right, yeah, at this point, this stuff's going on. And when you turn around, you notice that the conference room's no longer a conference room anymore. And you're not standing in the building. You're on top, you're on a stage. And there is like a like Queen Live Aid studio sized audience, like standing out there in front of you. Tens of thousands of people, like Million Man March levels of people, all looking at you give this business speech. And it's being put up on the like the Titantrons, and there's the big speakers they use for concerts. Your voice is going over them. What do you do? What happens here?
I immediately feel like my stomach is going to drop out of my ass. My heart's going to be beating so fast. I'm not going to be able to talk. It's going to be terrible. Absolutely horrific. And I'll probably would just like close my eyes really, really, really tight and just pray that it's not real, and open my eyes and just keep doing that to see if it goes away.
So you open your eyes on one of the blinks and your boss is staring at you going, hey, are you okay? What's going on here? Focus. Everything good?
Yeah, sorry. I just got a little dizzy. I'm good. Okay. Anyway.
So after you notice you're back in the room. Everything's fine. It's that small conference room again. And standing off in one of the corners, like right where the door, you have the entryway with the door. Right in that corner by the door, there's this tall-looking guy in an old trench coat with a fedora just standing there. You can't really see his face. Everything's all shrouded in darkness, and you only see him for like a brief moment, and then the room kind of like shreds forward, and you're back on that stage in front of all those people again.
I probably would have the same physical reaction. try to squeeze my eyes tight, really shut, open them again, see what happens, and then look around to see if there's anything I could duck behind, like anything, any part of the stage or just any place that I could get very quickly to hide.
Okay. So as you're doing that running, looking for a place to hide, you jump off the stage. You're running through the backstage area. You hide behind, I don't know, a stack of speakers. And at that point, you wake up. You are in your bedroom, and the whole thing has been just a dream.
Immediate, what the fuck? And I'm probably sweating. So then I'm just trying to like grasp what's going on, make sure everything is real, realize it is.
Yep, your Harry Potter mug is missing still. That's the item that I believe that you would have looked for the most, or just would have been the thing that absolutely cemented into the, oh shit, yeah, no, my mug's still missing. But it was there, at least the mug was in your dream. But everything else was no, absolutely not. We're going to shift
I
over.
feel very relieved.
Sorry?
I just said I feel very relieved at that point.
All right. So shifting over to Death or Alistair.
Yes.
So again, pretty similar setup. You finish a day worth of teaching your students. You lock up the shop for the dojo for the night, have your dinner, read a book, watch TV, whatever it is you do to unwind. And you end up going to sleep. Probably, pretty much on time for when you normally go to sleep. And because things happen like they do in a dream, you don't go through everything, all the motions when you wake up. You kind of just are places. Very rarely do you have a dream where you wake up, take a shower, make breakfast, get dressed, and do the commute. You're just at your dojo.
Yeah, I don't.
Sorry?
I was going to say, I don't have dreams like that at all. Okay.
Look at you.
So I'm at the dojo.
You're at the dojo, and you're teaching your students, and this guy walks in. You've never seen him before. And he pulls the whole, I'm here to challenge the master of the dojo.
I cut him down on the spot.
You attempt to cut him down on the spot. What do you mean by you cut him down on the spot?
I mean, I have a sword.
Okay, so
Cut him down on the spot.
So your sword appears in your hand, and you start to take a slash at him, and he does a Matrix style dodge to the left. His trench coat, he has his trench coat on, the fedora that he was wearing when he walked in, he just tosses aside, and he just stares at you. He's like, that was I came here to challenge the master of the dojo, not one of the entry level students.
I just wanted to see if you were worth my time.
So is playtime over? Can we actually do this thing?
Sure.
Okay. So the fight kicks back up. You're putting in every ounce of effort possible. Every trick you've learned over the years. Every thing that you know about martial arts, Krav Maga, and all the other little styles you studied, little bits and pieces from the styles you've studied over the years. And this guy is just, he's playing with you. Absolutely playing with you. Your students are watching. They're laughing. You can't get a single hit on this guy. You go to swing left, he dodges. You try to throw a punch, he ducks under it. You slash at his legs, he just jumps up above it and sidesteps and pushes you on the ground from behind. This guy's treating you like a little toy. And he has you on the ground, and he goes to extend a hand and say, all right, come on. Obviously, you don't know what you're doing here. And you reach up, and that's when he just shoves you back onto the ground, and you wake up in your bed.
I sit straight up in my bed with a shiver. Hell no. Get out of bed, pull my pants, my shirt on, go outside and practice.
Thank God you put your pants on.
Yeah, you can't go outside with your dick out. That's against the rules. Yeah, I'll go outside and practice.
All right. So you go outside and you start practicing. You have been completely emasculated in front of your dream student's dojo in a nightmare, a dream, or whatever you want to call it. It was an unpleasant experience at the very least. Who's next? Who do I want to do next? Daniel. I believe you are right here. Perfect. Yes, there we go. Gotcha. So, again, very similar thing. You have a full day's worth of work. You grade your test or whatever you're doing, prepare your dinner, have whatever it is that makes you unwind, and you end up going to sleep. In the middle of the night, or you're not sure, you know what? You're very sure that this is a dream. You're in your classroom, and the wall where the students are, it's like the back row of students is steadily disappearing as you're doing your lesson and turning around from the chalkboard to the students. Another row of chairs is missing. The wall in the back has moved up closer to you.
I will walk from behind the desk and count the rows and try to mentally put them in place, see what's going on with me.
So
this can't be real.
Okay, so you leave your desk area, so you leave the chalkboard, which is the front of the class. You head toward the back to count the rows. You count on your way down. 1, 2, 3. I can't remember how many rows are like in a typical high school class. What, 10?
Yeah, probably.
Something like that.
Well, if there's a class of 30 and you've got 5 rows, probably 6 or 7.
6 or 7, okay.
I'd say only 6 of them, yeah.
So there's 6 rows to begin with. 1 row disappeared, so you're at 5. You get to the back of the class. You turn around, and your desk and your chalkboard have been pushed forward, and the first row of students has disappeared. The walls have kind of come in from the front and the back.
Walk over to the door and see if I can open it.
Door opens, no problem. Kids are like, "Where are you going, Mr. Hansen?"
I'll be right back, and I walk into the hall.
All right, so you walk into the hall. It's just the hallway of that school. You look on both sides. It goes in the directions that it's supposed to go in.
I look back into the classroom and see if everything's back the way it was supposed to be.
Not the way it's supposed to be. It's the way that it was.
So it's still moving in?
Still moved. It's not moving in. It's just where it had moved in.
Okay. I'm going to shut the door and walk to another classroom and see if the door is open to that classroom.
So you walk to the other classroom and you open the door and it's empty. There's nobody in there. Normal size.
I'm going to walk in and just, just walk around the room and see, does it look like what a normal classroom that I would recognize would look like?
As you're walking around the room, it looks like a normal room that you would recognize. Like everything's where it should be. This is your neighbor, teacher, whichever one that is, room. But as you're doing the circle around the room, when you're not paying attention, when you're not looking at it, the walls move in on whatever side that you're no longer looking at. So if you're not looking at this wall, it moves in. Not looking at this wall, it moves in. Not looking at this one, it moves in. So it's kind of, as you're moving, the rooms are slowly encroaching.
My heartbeat is starting to race. I mean, it's not like I'm not at like I just ran a marathon yet, but I am starting to freak out a little bit.
Okay.
I'm going to, turn around and walk toward the door again.
Okay. You walk toward the door.
I guess I will open it up and see if I can get into the hallway.
You open it up, you walk into the hallway, and you hear like a commotion, like like almost like things collapsing, either like or things banging together. And looking back behind you, you see that everything has been kind of shoved up against that door in the classroom. Like the whole thing, the whole wall just made its way and slammed up into the door. And you hear sorry.
I said I'm going to take a big step back, and that causes me to breathe a little deeper and harder.
Every step backward you make, when you retreat, the wall moves towards you now.
I'm going to run down a hallway.
As you run...
Until I can...
Oh, sorry?
I said I'm just going to run until, I can try to find a door or something.
Okay. As you run, you just hear that constant collapsing behind you. And every time you look behind your shoulder, that hallway is just catching up to you. Off in the distance, in just underneath one of the lights in the hallway, you see a man in a trench coat, one of those old style kind of like tan dusters. It's when I say trench coat, I don't mean like the Matrix style trench coat. Okay, I mean like he looks almost like a traveling salesman from Fallout 4,
right?
Like the Vault Tech sales guy. He's got the tan trench coat, like a nice suit underneath it. Probably he looks like a salesman, and it does that thing that dreams like to do, where it like one end stretches out. Like you're not making any progress, you're running, but it looks like everything's stretching out, and then it just comes hurtling towards you.
If I see it come hurtling toward me, and I'm going to like just drop and sort of cover myself.
So when you drop, cover yourself.
Absolutely having a panic attack.
The last thing you'll notice before waking up is you got your hands up, you kind of, you covered yourself. You are like in this tiny cube that is just wallpapered like the school. It's like you've been shoved in a shoebox. That is the school.
I am probably hyperventilating and, freaking out.
And that's when you're going to wake up.
I will wake up and, just be probably drenched with sweat and still breathing very, very hard.
Okay. Which brings us to
I
our...
will not go back to sleep.
It's one of those ones where it's like, oh, do you go to sleep or not? It's probably like 3 or 4 in the morning anyway. So you could go back to sleep for another hour or two, depending on when you have to get up to go to work.
I'm probably up already. I'll be up.
Yeah,
just up an extra hour and a half early.
There you go. You're going to get restful sleep anyway. Which brings us to our last victim of the evening's torture. Thomas has been doing his paranoia watch of his parents and everybody else that lives in his house with him. Like, sneaking out at night to get a good distance to transform into his Morphus, use his telescopic vision to look at them, check them out with true sight, making sure they're definitely the right people. They haven't been replaced by doppelgangers, sneaking around the house at night to do the same thing on occasion, doing all that stuff before going to bed. You head to sleep, and you don't know it's a dream, but, you start your day off. You do some stuff, and you kind of, as is the nature of the dream, you're just at those places doing that thing, but nothing seems weird until nighttime, and you're having dinner with your folks. They put down, what is your favorite meal that your parents make? You're still living with your parents, right?
Oh my god, my mom's making it.
Oh, man.
Hot dog soup.
Hot dog soup. Okay.
Oh, fuck.
No, it's what Travis asked for, and she made it somehow. I don't know. Defied the laws of cooking.
I do that with hot dogs, chili, and I water the chili down a bit so it's more soupy than chili. But anyway, so you're having this hot dog soup with your parents, and you still have that general paranoia as to whether or not these are actually your parents, because that normal people can just be replaced with lookalikes from the mirror dimension that looks like a blasted wasteland that's full of monsters that want to eat everybody, and they made you food, so hopefully it's food and it's not poison food, because that would suck. And you didn't get a chance to look at them in the last couple hours with your special vision, so they could have been replaced when they went to the bathroom or something. But you're eating your soup. Conversation's going. What are you guys talking about?
We're probably just all shitting on each other.
Okay. You dip your spoon in to get a big old helping of hot dog in your soup, and you pull it up, and one of the little hot dog nubs, because I'm assuming hot dog soup has like the hot dog cut up into little tiny pieces, or at least into little mini logs. You pull that out, and you look down at your fork, and it just splits open, and it has I don't want to say a big, but an appropriately sized spider kind of just worms its way out of this bit of hot dog.
Yeah, it wouldn't even have a chance to worm before I threw it, screaming like a little girl at the top of my lungs and falling backwards in my chair and doing that reverse crab crawl that the girls always do in the movies when they're trying to get away from the killer, but they keep stumbling over themselves. That is what you're seeing. A grown-ass man fleeing for his life. The spoon is probably through the wall in front of me or to the side.
Your parents get up and are like, "What is going on?" I
But
think
they know.
it's your mom.
Oh,
We'll say your mom gets up. She's like the one who's closest. She goes over. She looks at the soup. She's like, "Something wrong with the food?" And
I'm running. I'm not in the room.
you're not in the room. Okay.
I don't think you understand. If that happened to me, I would not be in that room. I would be on the other side. There's an in-law suite off the kitchen. I would be on the other side of the door screaming, "Oh my God."
Okay.
And probably, like Tom had said, hyperventilating. And oh my God, my skin's crawling already just thinking about it. Oh my God.
Okay. So your mom and your dad come in the room, and they're like, "Hey, are you okay?" They follow you in. They're like, "Everything okay? You looked a little freaked out there. You haven't been yourself lately."
And I would just be shouting like, "It was a spider! It was a spider in the spoon!"
A spider? You're seeing things, and while they're trying to reassure you that you are just seeing things, honey, there's no spiders in the soup. As she says that, like, man, like her mouth kind of like droops on the one side a little bit, like the skin just kind of sloughs down, almost like somebody having like one of those strokes, and like like a set of legs just comes out.
That gone, running, gone. Oh my God, yeah, gone, running. Same deal.
Yeah, as you're running, the halls, like horror movies, they bleed. Yours, it's just spiders and insects and centipedes and beetles. They're just, it's like the scene from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom.
Yeah,
You're running on your carpet.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about.
And you'll wake up at an appropriate time of running through that mess of crunching, squishing nastiness.
I would be the PTSD guy screaming in his sleep. I may have turned into my Morphus at this point, only because I would be that scared, and I'm for some reason not afraid of them when I'm in my Morphus.
So yeah, we'll say you turn into your Morphus. You are in bed in your Morphus form. Your dozens of mouths are all screaming at the same time in chorus with you. And you hear your dad scream, "What the hell is going on?" And you can hear the clopping down the hall. Like, you can hear him, like, coming down the hall, heavy footsteps.
Once I was calm in my Morphus, I would relax and revert back.
You barely revert back before the door opens. And it's like, what in the Sam hell's going on in here?
Fuck you, old man.
Oh, we're gonna...
Kids are awake.
Get your face punched by your dad?
No, my dad would never raise a hand at me. I'd kill him. I'm death status when it comes to Papa.
No.
So
But yeah.
So that happened, and he's like, "Just go back to sleep. We'll talk about this in the morning. I don't feel like
You go back the fuck to sleep.
Yeah, you have one of those relationships with your parents, and he's like, "Oh, whatever, fuck you. You get a job, cut your hair, get out of the damn house. You shouldn't be living here anyway. You're old enough."
Stop having your wife do your laundry. Understand what your bills are. Make food for your children. Know what their birthdays are. You want to keep going?
Yeah, he just stomps down the
I
hall.
mean, you want to relive this trauma with me, Duality? I'll go down the rabbit hole with you.
Hey, man, it sounds like my house, so we should go out for a drink. We probably have the same Letterman jacket. But anyway, shit calms down. I don't know if you go back to sleep or not. It's probably about the same thing, 3-ish in the morning, 4-ish in the morning. It's early, it's late, it's all depending upon perspective.
Yeah, I don't know that I'd be going to bed without inspecting the entire house for spiders first. It's not even a joke. I do that every time I go in anybody's house, and any room that they're in, I would always look at the walls for spiders before I even sit down.
God, you wouldn't even make it through the front door at my house. I have scrambles at the front door on the porch light.
Yeah, I wouldn't. Nope, that'd be tough. I'd probably have to have you clear it off for me to be able to walk through it. Where I'd have to get my jacket, wear my hood.
I feed Scrambles moths. She keeps the place moth and mosquito free for me. I just grab moths and pull their wings off and deposit them in the web.
It's normal.
Yeah, Scrambles, the death dealer. She's awesome. So that was your evening, everybody. What do you do in the morning?
Go to work groggy.
Yeah. Go to work tired.
Okay.
Go to work high.
Me and my dad shampoo.
No tears, my ass. This is making my eyes burn. Okay.
What's that weird smell?
It's cedarwood scent.
Shampoo always smells like piss. Buy a different brand. Okay, so you go to work. Y'all go to work tired, groggy. What do you do after work?
I'm not really thinking anything of that dream anymore. I just know that I'm really, really tired. And I'm probably going to go home and crash early.
Okay. That's one for a crash early.
Yeah, after work, I would probably head home and turn in like right away after like a short dinner.
All right.
I'd probably pick up a bottle of wine and yeah, probably just go home and chill.
Okay. So everybody's going to. On Frail, what are you doing? Because I got 3 for go home and do whatever's.
I mean, I'm already home. I'm on vacation.
True.
Hey, I'm on vacation every Saturday. I
All
don't
right.
know how that song. I don't know the lyrics.
So
What's the song?
you guys do your whole routine of going home, getting ready to do, go to bed early, whatever have you, because you're all really groggy. Um, and I'm not going to redo everything here, but before you go to bed, you do your normal rituals, check for spiders, have your meals, have a drink, watch TV. You don't have quite the same nightmare, but you have a similar themed one the following night. And one of the constants that one of the only things that is exactly the same is the man in a trench coat. And that's actually going to be the first time that you're going to see the man in the trench coat this time, Frail. The only difference between this one is it doesn't happen with like hot dog soup. The dream kicks off with him trying to hand you a spider instead of whatever it is you asked him for.
Well, as soon as I see that, you can best assured I'm running and gunning.
Yep. So that's the only difference. But you all wake up pretty much in the same condition. Cold sweats. It almost feels like you fell from the ceiling and landed in your bed when you wake up from these nightmares. It's like, did I just fall off the ceiling? I'm sure everybody's had that feeling at least once waking up at a start.
Yeah.
And like I said, it's not the same exact dream, but it does have that one theme from the dream before. The man in a trench coat. That's your night. Do you go back to sleep?
I probably would if I could.
I probably depends on the severity of it. Is it the same severity as the first night?
Yeah, it's pretty severe again. Like if anything, it might have felt like it might have amplified a little bit. But you feel pretty groggy when you wake up. Like it was definitely a draining experience.
When I wake up, I just yell, "Round 2, fight!" and then go back to sleep.
Oh, one thing I do want to say, mechanically speaking, it's not a big deal because you regain these points back pretty quickly. You do have 20 less PPE available at the time of wake up. So you experience that as a feeling of general grogginess and being like just general drained. That is something that is of note. Other than that,
So okay, I've got a question to ask you
Yeah.
after we're done with this. Then
no, go for it.
okay. So well, I was just gonna say is, if I use 20 PPE to do my dark song, does that come back in a day or two?
Yeah, that actually could come back even quicker depending on like if you meditate or something.
Gotcha. Okay. So I actually have more PPE than I thought.
Yep.
So I'm gonna just, obviously, if I wake up and I'm all tired and stuff, and it's still groggy, then I'm gonna try to sleep some more.
Okay. Oh,
'Cause I can't keep living like this.
so you go to sleep, you wake up. Again, you still feel groggy when you wake up in the morning. You're not fully rested. These nights are definitely taking their tolls on you. So you've each individually had these nightmares 2 nights in a row. You've woken up. It's time for work or time for whatever you're going to do. What are you doing this third day?
Am I did I have when I went back to sleep for whatever hour or
Mhm.
two I've got left? Did I get any decent sleep, or am I still just exhausted? Did I
I
have
mean,
another nightmare?
you got as much decent sleep as you could in an hour. No nightmare when you went back to sleep, but it's kind of like you wake up at 5:30. You know you got to be at work. You got your alarm's going off at 6:30. You decide just to go back to bed anyway, and you wake up
Right.
like you're not so tired the first time you wake up, and then it's kind of a pain in the ass to drag yourself out of bed that second time. Like, oh, I should have just stayed up feeling. So not very restful sleep, but you didn't have any nightmares the second time around that night.
Then I will groggily go back. I'll go to work.
Okay. So today's Friday, end of the school week. What are you all doing after you do your normal daily routine?
Dojo closes. I think I'm gonna go out to dinner, treat myself a bit. Been a long, tiring week.
Okay.
Steak and a beer. Go home. Maybe watch
During
a
the
little
day,
TV. Crash.
sorry.
No, you're good. I'm done.
During the day while I'm at school, like on my free period, I will try to go find Isabella.
Okay. Shouldn't be too hard for you to manage that.
Um, I walk in and I'm like, I look like hell. Um, how do you look when I walk into the library?
Oh, there's a hell of a lot of concealer going on and bags, and I
Right.
just look so tired.
I was like, you look as tired as I do.
You look like hell. Are
I
you
feel
having
like
weird
it.
dreams?
I am having weird dreams. Have you talked
Me too.
to Alistair or Thomas or
No,
Grayson?
no, I haven't seen anybody.
This is this is like the second night in a row that I've had horrible dreams.
Same for me too. It's so real.
I know it feels really weird. Like I know I'm gonna pass out, but it's a dream. How could I pass out in my dream? I just end up
I
waking up.
know. And then there was a guy. It was there a guy? Did you see some? It was like a man. He was
In a
wearing
trench
like
coat,
yes, a
a
trench
tan
coat.
trench coat,
Yes.
but I couldn't see his face.
No. Okay. That's that's an odd coincidence. Why don't we see if we can find the others and we'll see if they're having the same thing.
Yeah. Do you want to call Alistair, and I'll call Thomas?
Okay, sounds good.
All right. I'll let you know what I found out.
Same.
All right. So I'm gonna go down and go to the teacher's office. It's still my free break time, and see if call Thomas at home and see if he's awake.
Okay. Ring, ring. Ring, ring.
Anyone here? Hello? Mm. Hello?
Hey Thomas, it's Daniel. I hope I didn't wake you.
Dude, no, I'm awake. I'm just, hold on. How are you? What's something only you would know about me?
Um.
See?
Well, do you want me to
Okay.
say it over a phone line?
Yeah, can you just please please do it?
Um, we can take other forms.
When you say forms, do you mean like paper forms?
No, like physicality. And I look around and hope that no one's
Physical.
in the. I just cough. I said, and I sort of cough centaur into the phone. Sorry, there's
Right.
another teacher around.
Right. Yeah, man, what's up?
Um, have you been having any trouble sleeping?
Yeah, to say the least. Not too good over here, man. A lot of weird shit going on.
Have you seen in your dream? Has there been a guy with a tan trench coat?
There's a dude in a tan trench coat and fucking spiders everywhere. Why?
Because me and Isabella were talking, and we're both having trouble sleeping, and we saw the same person that you saw.
The
We should
Spider
probably get
Man?
together. Uh, the the guy with the trench coat. I don't know if he, because I don't see any spiders in my dreams.
Okay. All right.
We're
So
gonna
what do
try to meet up for
we,
dinner tonight and talk about this.
can we meet up earlier than dinner? I don't know if I'm gonna make it as far as being awake, so earlier would be better, buddy. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Like how early?
Like anytime soon. I'm so fucking tired.
I understand. I've had very little sleep myself. Do you want to meet at the dojo as soon as school ends?
Sure.
Because I can't get out of here until school's over.
Yeah, that's fine.
All right.
Um, yeah. If I'm late, I'm sorry.
Okay. I'll see you soon.
Yep.
So I'll go tell Isabella that we're gonna just meet at the dojo since we all know where that is.
Okay.
And I'll
Sounds
just
good.
call and leave a message for Grayson.
All right. You leave a voicemail for him on his distinctly early 2000 uh, voicemail box that, you had to listen to the ringback tone, which is that time where, you used to get music played at you when you called somebody. Thank God that's over. Um, yeah. Message left.
All right.
Time
Guess it's
go.
Isabella's turn to talk
Yep.
to Alistair.
Yes, it is.
Ring, ring, motherfucker. Are you having nightmares?
I pick up the phone and I'm like, hello? Hello?
Hello. Hey. Hey. It's
Hey,
Isabella. Hey.
Isabella, how you
Um. Hey. I could be better, dude. I'm so fucking tired. I'm so tired. I haven't been sleeping well. I've been having some really crazy dreams. What about you?
I mean, I haven't been sleeping well, but the dreams are challenging. I wouldn't call them terrifying though, just challenging. And I keep coming up short, and it's bothering me. I've been doing like triple training the last couple days. Like,
Damn.
I'm sore all over.
You're lucky. Mine are absolutely terrifying. I think everybody's having them. We're all going to meet at the dojo after school.
Oh, um, okay. Well, I'll still be there, so yeah, that'll be fun.
All right, cool.
Uh, see you then.
All right. So you guys do the hang up the phone call. Your day goes through. You meet up at the dojo. And for the last bit of time, because we did take about an hour getting characters situated with level up, this will be the last bit we do tonight, which is whatever you want to do to take through your time with the dojo, talking about your day. Go for it, and then let me know when you're done, and we'll wrap up.
I have a thought. I don't know if it's a good thought or not, but we have the ability to transfer ourselves along electrical connections, right? So, could we not wait until a person is in REM sleep and then use that ability to travel the electrical connections in their mind? I mean, I know it's much lower power probably, but just a thought.
Are you talking to me or to the
Um,
party?
You.
Me. Um,
Well, I guess it could be both
let's
because
go with the party because I don't want to throw
okay,
answers onto that just yet.
fair enough. Then I put that out to the party. Perhaps we can catch this uh, 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 guy in the coat and do terrible things to him. Terrible things. He thinks nightmare play is a good time.
how,
I'd like to show him other
how do
ways.
you anticipate to get into his mind?
Well, if he's getting into our minds and one of us is asleep, and like take Thomas for instance, who's you know probably much more scared than like an adult, uh, we could then
Well, I don't
use
know about that. I was pretty freaking scared.
well either one of you then all three of you whatever.
Why aren't you as scared as we are?
It wasn't so much scary as it was just this feeling of complete defeat, and I'm not I'm not afraid of that like my teeth are gonna rattle and I'm gonna shake. I'm afraid of that like I'll feel like a failure. It's a different kind of fear.
You know, that's not anything like what we're experiencing at all.
And that's how
Yeah, this
I
is pure
experience.
abject terror. I feel like I'm being crushed.
Um, yeah, no, I feel like I'm getting the shit slapped out of me like I'm an untrained fucking little girl.
So
And I
why
don't
is it different for you and us? What makes you so special?
I don't know that anything makes me special.
Well, clearly you're getting different treatment than we are by whoever this person is. So what did you do? Do you know this person?
If I knew this person, I'd be beating the shit out of them right now.
Well, he seems to be taking it easier on you than the rest of us.
Well, I don't have any like irrational fear. I
My
get
fear is
I
not
get
irrational. My fear is completely rational. A lot of people are afraid of spiders. All right, that's
uh,
not crazy.
I'm not saying it is. I'm not somehow throwing shade on you. I'm just saying I'm experiencing it differently than you guys.
It doesn't sound like you're experiencing shit.
Well, from my perspective, being rendered essentially uh weak is a real problem, and it bothers me deeply.
Sorry that you have all these real problems you have to deal with while the rest of us are living our darkest fucking nightmares.
Well, my apologies. I mean, my family's gone for the most part, so like I don't have anybody to like fear losing. Uh, my I have a school, but like I'm not really afraid to lose it. You can teach karate or Krav Maga or whatever anywhere. You know what I mean? Like I could do it at a park. So yeah, no, I'm afraid of being emasculated, being like utterly defeated in combat. it's the only thing that keeps me up at night.
He stopped listening. He was just looking around the room.
Like mine felt real. I felt like I was being crushed. I felt like I couldn't breathe. Like
I mean,
this is absolute horrible. I'm not afraid of losing anything except for my life as I'm crushed.
I that sucks. I don't know. Anyway, the thought I had was maybe we could use that ability to travel electricity conduits and use it to like go into someone else's like mind while they're dreaming and potentially maybe be able to interact. I mean, I don't know what it would do. I don't know even know if it'll work. It's just a thought.
We have to have a destination. You know, that's why we use the phone to do that, because it gives us a destination or some kind of roadmap to get somewhere that we can come out of.
Well,
I
we
don't
don't have
see
to
us
use
just
the phones though. The phones just give us a destination, so it's easier. But I mean, we can just
right.
simply go into the electric outlet and move around in the energy system.
You're comparing
And
copper wire to human tissue.
right.
Well,
And
I mean,
and this is a and that is a form of transportation, not
right?
to just hang around in someone's brain.
Well, no, I get that, but like, what if we hooked electrodes up to their head and then you rode the electric current in the electrode right into their brain
And what would we do that for?
to try to fight the guy who's causing the nightmares? I mean, it's the only thing I can think of. I
Okay,
don't
you
know
try
any other
that and
way to.
we'll get back to you.
I mean, my only concern is that if somehow the connection is broken, I might be trapped in somebody's mind, rolling around there like neurons.
Then we shouldn't do this, is what
I
I'm
mean,
hearing.
probably not. I don't know. It was just a thought. It's the only thing I know that could potentially have any like bearing on what we're going through. So like
I
I'm
mean,
open to suggestions.
I mean, I okay. I'm not seeing how that would work, but
I mean,
what do I
yeah,
know?
no. I mean, I feel the same way. I don't know if it'll work or not. It might totally not work. Maybe. Okay, so I just had another thought. Maybe when we're asleep, that entity is near us and is causing the nightmare from like a location that we could potentially find. Like, what kind of range could you do something like this at? You know what I mean? We don't really know, but I have to imagine it isn't 1,000 miles away. They would have to be probably on this plane and probably uh like within some sort of distance. Perhaps we could figure
Well,
out like I could fly, I can move around pretty quickly, so like I could shoot around the area and do like a big circle and see if I ping anything strange. Maybe I could
okay.
carry the kid with the true sight, and then he could see, and maybe between the two things we could find somebody. I mean, I don't know how it's working. I'm just trying to figure it out.
Or we could use other resources that we have.
I, yeah, absolutely. You should use all resources.
Um,
I just want the dreams to stop.
okay, so I'm gonna reach out to Faulkner or Mancini and see if they've ever heard of anything like this.
Okay. Um, let's pin that because we're about an hour and 15 in, which means we've been sitting here for like almost 2 hours, and I don't want to have another session like last time where we were going for 3 hours and I was really tired. So we'll end off with you're going to make contact with Mancini and Faulkner as the beginning of the next one.